live off the installation. They live in your communities. They're part of your communities. And so making sure we're keeping crime intact or in check is very important to us, because that makes sure our people their minds are focused on work, they're here at work and doing their thing. With respect to those areas that I just highlighted, I do one thing I'm absolutely certain of, one thing I've come to learn about this community in the last 2 years is the base can count on you. And if it's something that we haven't fixed yet, it's because we were tackling other big rocks and we just haven't gotten to it yet. But I know that we're all committed to doing the same thing. Excuse me, we're all committed to working towards the long-term viability of the installation. I thank you for that. I do want to take a second to offer our deepest appreciation to first responders in the community. It's a partnership between the community and the base, whether it's police, firefighters, EMTs, or emergency management personnel. We support each other. We can't thank you enough. You know, one of the neat things at the air show, I had an older gentleman, which is saying something considering my age now, come up to me at the air show and say, "Hey son, you know, there's somebody trying to watch the air show from on top of that hangar." And I said, "Well, sir, actually what that is a sniper team, and we've got 4 of them, and that's just in an effort to limit buffoonery while we're here." And those folks were all from our local community, from our county and state police forces. I just can't thank you enough. You all put your lives on the line every day. Everyone thanks the military folks for our service, but you folks, you first responders, you're in harm's way every single day. You do it for us, you do it selflessly. And I got to tell you, we're still grieving with you the loss of officers Sondren and Smallwood. That's no easy loss for us, and I know Peach County felt it especially hard, but we all do. And you know, something I just found out yesterday, it's worth sharing. Officer Sondren encouraged his daughter to join the Air Force at one point, and she did. And she's now an Airman Basic, in basic training, and will soon graduate. Isn't that something? That's cool. What I think is great is that she's going to continue the life of service that her father exemplified. That's amazing. That's what this community brings to the fight. Our first responders, hats off to you. I also want to offer thanks to the leaders, our leadership in the great state of Georgia. You all continue to look out for Robins Air Force Base, our missions, and just as importantly, our employees and their family members. Last year, legislative season, they posed 16 pieces of legislation, and 6 actually were signed into law, and they were not insignificant. They had to do with medical care, speeding of licensures for spouse employment, a lot of great things. We're thankful for that. The Board of Regents continues to be an amazing partner in working with us on higher education needs and making sure that once military members retire or leave the area, our children can return and in an affordable way attend the schools in Georgia. Our state legislators this year so far have teed up 12 new items for consideration, 12 new bills that will benefit Robins and our people, and I'm told several of them are on the governor's desk for approval. So, sir, gentlemen, thank you. Okay, so just about done here. Thanks for bearing with me. I know it's getting warm. I guarantee it's no warmer than under this light right here, which apparently is a heat lamp. So when I'm out and about, I can almost say to a face, every one of you here has asked me, what can we do for you? First, ask how you are and how's your family, because that's what we do here, right? We look after one another, and then we get down to business, and we say, what can we do for you? What can we do for the base? So I'll tell you, continue to support our military and civilian airmen and their family members. You do a fantastic job. That job's never done, and just when we knock one big rock out or push it over the goal line, it's time to look for the next. So continue to do that, please. Continue to support the Museum of Aviation. You do in so many ways, not just physically volunteering time, but raising money. This is an amazing place, not only for venues like this, but you know, our STEM programs reach out to 50,000 kids a year and provide resources and education and light that spark of learning in those career fields that are so important to Robins Air Force Base and really our nation at large as we moved on from an industrial to a more technical place. So please continue to support the aviation. Continue to support our P4 programs that benefit not only the base and the community. That's one where sometimes everybody giving a little, the tide goes up and takes all the boats with it. So we've had some great successes Look out for others. We're always open to new ideas. Lastly, continue to keep our people, both at home station and deployed, in your prayers, as well as our national leaders. Can't underestimate the power of prayer. We appreciate it very much. So, in closing, I just want to say thanks, y'all, for all you do. We appreciate you very, very much. Look forward to your questions afterwards. But as for now, I just, when I first got here, Chairman Stonecker couldn't make it today, but the day after I arrived, I hadn't even taken command yet. I woke up, put on my uniform, and went to in-process a little bit, and it's 10 to 8, and I'm walking out of my temporary lodging facility, and the phone rings. I thought, holy cow, this is weird. And it was Chairman Stonecker. He said, hey, Jeff, this is Tommy Stonecker. Just wanted to welcome you to Middle Georgia, where every day in Middle Georgia is Armed Forces Appreciation Day. That's something that I've come to know and feel and believe, and it's tough to spend any time in these parts without really getting a sense of it. So thank you. With that, I would like to introduce our all-star panelists, who I guarantee you will outshine me in public speaking ability and information. So it only gets better from here, folks. First, I'd like to introduce Major General Derek Rydholm, Air Force Reserve Command's Director of Plans and Programs. Sir. Brigadier General John, okay, come on up. And I'll ask you all to just take your seats, and then we'll pass the mic down. Brigadier General John Kiminek, Commander, Warner Robins Air Logistics Complex. The one and only Mr. Tom Fisher, Air Force Sustainment Center Engineering, Robins Operating Location. Colonel Thomas, a.k.a. Gasket Grabowski, 116th Air Control Wing Vice Commander. And my good friend and neighbor, the man who suffered more storm damage on his base house than anybody, Colonel Tim Brester, 461st Air Control Wing Vice Commander. Gentlemen, thank you.
Okay. I'll try and keep it brief. I know that everybody's busy, but thanks for the support. And I'll talk to the Air Force Reserve Command piece. We have about 739 personnel here on the base, representing all aspects of the Air Force, but our command staff supports 69,000 reservists, soon to grow up to about 72,500. The big issues that we have ongoing right now, a lot of senior leadership change for the command. The current commander, Lieutenant General Mary Ann Miller, has been in her seat for about 9 months. The vice commander sits here at Robins. His name is Major General Buck Waldrop. He's going to retire here in about 4 weeks, and he'll be replaced by our current 10th Air Force commander, Rich Scobie. So big changes here. I'm going to leave the job that I have here. Our commander actually wears 2 hats. She's the commander of the Reserve Command, but she's also the chief of the Air Force Reserve, and in that light, she has a staff here at Warner Robins, and she has a staff up in the Pentagon as the chief. I'm going to go be her deputy up in the Pentagon here in about 6 weeks, and then one of our Pentagon one-star generals will come and backfill me here. So that's kind of it from the command. What we support directly here at Robins, though, we have a couple of different organizations. We have the 5th Combat Comm Squadron and the 413th Flight Check Flight, but I'll talk about that in just a second. The big issues that the staff are working right now are the big things that potentially have an impact on the base and on AFMC, or that we just broke ground for our consolidated mission complex, which is a 3-phase, roughly 300,000 square foot facility, kind of over by about the 14th hole or so, give or take. And it's going to be conducted. It's about $100 million overall 3-phase project. The first phase, like I said, just broke ground. We've got another phase, and we should be moving into that part of it. Part of our staff will be doing that here in about fiscal year 19. In fiscal year 19, the second phase also kicks off, and then a little bit further into the future would be the third phase. The good things that I think that does for the base, number one, it helps us because right now we're spread over about a mile on our command staff members, and that'll consolidate us all into one big organization, one big area on the base. The other thing that helps, I think, with the rest of the bases, it frees up some prime real estate, and I think it's going to cut down on about 3 MILCON projects that the base would have to undergo by us freeing those up, and that'll help, I think, overall. So we're happy for that. Hope that the last of the funding will come through in the out years. As far as Combat Comm, small organization, it's going to grow a little bit, but it's located here, and it does deployed operations in the command and control environment. The flight test is a little bit more interesting, and I'll leave you with this. A lot of these folks at the ALC do a lot of great work, working on big airplanes, F-15s, other things that make a lot of noise in the community. The people that fly and do the test flights and all that are our guys. So not only do we have that here, but we've got that at Hill, we've got it at Tinker, underneath what we call the 413th Flight Test Group, but the 413th Flight Check Flight is here locally. And with that being said, if you'll cue up, we got about a 2-minute video, kind of shows what they do. Thank you.